In order for absorption to take place, molecules must move from the intestine to the capillary. The capillary is fenestrated, which means it has holes in it, allowing molecules to move in fairly easily. Molecules must move from the intestinal lumen, which is 1, to the intestinal cell, must enter the intestinal cell, and then leave the intestinal cell and enter the interstitial fluid or space. From the interstitial space, the molecules must enter the capillary, which is a fenestrated capillary. Absorption of nutrients takes place in the small intestine. The molecules must move from the lumen to the intestinal wall, to the interstitial space, into the capillary. The carbohydrates that must make this journey are glucose, fructose, and galactose. So we are moving from the lumen, entering the intestinal cell, leaving the intestinal cell, and entering the capillary. From 1 to 2, glucose, fructose, and galactose use secondary active transport, and they are moving along with sodium. From 2 to 3, they travel via facilitated diffusion. From 3 to 4, entering the capillary is done by simple diffusion. The absorption of proteins is very similar to the absorption of carbohydrates. In this case, we're talking about the movement of amino acids. Amino acids move from 1 to 2 via secondary active transport, 2 to 3 via facilitated diffusion, and 3 to 4 via simple diffusion. And now for the absorption of lipids. By this time, the lipids are in the form of fatty acids and glycerol. We must remember that fatty acids and glycerol are hydrophobic molecules, and therefore they can cross the phospholipid bilayer. This allows them to very easily enter the intestinal cell via simple diffusion. So that's them entering the intestinal cell. Once they enter the intestinal cell, the fatty acids and glycerol reform into triglycerides and become covered by a protein coat. Together, these little packets are called chylomicrons. Chylomicrons are too big to leave the cell via facilitated diffusion, so they use exocytosis in order to leave the cell. They enter the capillary via simple diffusion. At this point, it is important to note that the capillary that we are talking about are lacteals or lymphatic capillaries and not blood capillaries.